Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to another developer log for Mercenary Operator Wolves. Today, as with all of the last ones, there's quite a few changes since the previous developer log, but this time I wanted to go a little bit more into the technical details. I noticed in the last few I was kind of just skimming everything, like here's the thing I did, here's the thing I did. But since it is a developer log, I feel like it'd be cooler to talk a bit about the technicalities behind some of the stuff. So the two major things that have changed since the last developer log are the inclusion of a throwable or a grenade system and the time of day system, which by the time that this video uploads, probably won't be out. It's going to be out this Monday, but it's pretty much done. Just doing some last bug testing, making sure it all works. And then I'll just cover a few more things, like the roadmap for how we're going on the game, and the campaign level, which is, as usual, the main focus that it takes a while to actually do. But let me go ahead and start with the throwables. I will just demonstrate it on the kill house. So we've got some throwables currently. We just have RGD5s. In the future, I'm going to include M67 frag grenades, for example, thinking about having other types of grenades as well, flashbangs, maybe more improvised grenades as well, like Molotovs, we'll see. But eventually, there will be more. So how this works is you just hold left click, and once you actually click it, that will release the pin, but your character will hold down the spoon, like so. And then once you actually release the left mouse button, it will actually be thrown. And you can rebind this, it'll always take the same key as whatever your trigger is for shooting. So I'm just going to throw this, and then the way that the explosion works is it's a raycast. So similar to the field of view system you can see here, it's exactly the same, except you cannot see the explosions rays, but that's how it's working on the back end. I thought that would be the best way to approach it. It just does a 360 raycast that way. It's blocked by obstacles and stuff. I was thinking of just doing like a circle to have like a blast, but that wouldn't make sense because if you were taking cover from the grenade, you shouldn't get hit by it. So let me actually throw this. So you can see, this is a... I'll just load it. There we go. I should have taken cover. I got hit by a bit of the shrapnel. Another thing is once you are hit by a grenade, it does calculate the distance. So there's actually two distance calculations going on here. There's a lethal range, which I think is about that big for this grenade, and it can be changed. Obviously, since this is the only grenade in the game currently, that's all you have, but other grenades will have a different lethal range, and there's also a wounding range, which I was in, and I should have taken cover. There's a pretty large wounding range. You're indestructible in the kill house, hence why I didn't take any damage there, but normally that wouldn't do too much damage, but if you were already wounded, it could just wipe you out. And the next other cool feature is the time of day. One more thing, I also did add tutorials, but that's boring, so I'm not even going to cover that. So let me just hop into, I'll do airport. I don't think I've shown that too much in developer logs. So time of day. One thing that we have that's new here is there's new things in the contracts menu. So you can set it to use your current time. This will just take the time from your system time, or from your system, and it'll just apply it to the game. So right now when I'm recording this, it's 1400, which means that you won't see a change down here because it's still going to be the daytime, but if it was later, you know, could be dusk, could be night, and you can set it here too. Normally, when you play the mission, it will slowly, I think I set it to 30 seconds. Real time is an hour in game. No one would actually want to play, I'm sure none of you would actually want to play a contract for a real 24 hours to see the difference in time. So yeah, however long that ends up being, you can go through night, dawn, daytime, dusk, if it really takes you that long to do a contract. And some of them in the future will be a bit longer, so maybe you will see some transitions in the time. But also, if you don't like that, you can just turn off time advancement. That just means it'll still start whenever you specify, but it'll always stay at that time. So night, it'll always be night. And I'm going to go ahead and do a night mission so that I can show the time of day system in action. So takes a sec to load in. I'm thinking I might have a immediate setter. How it works now is it always transitions. So default is daytime, and as you can see there at the very start, it slowly got darker. Yeah, I'll probably make it in the future to where when it's initially being set, it's just going to immediately set the time. But for the time being, it'll be like that. So, first thing you'll notice when you do a night mission is your field of view is quite a bit smaller than it would normally be in a daytime mission. Normally on a daytime mission, the field of view, as you can see, is right here. Normally in the day it would be out to about this blue car right here. This applies to the AI as well as you, so it's not like you have an unfair disadvantage. Everyone cannot see as well, which so far in my testing makes for a few interesting encounters that are pretty different from the usual gameplay, which I think is quite cool. But you can also go ahead and you can get your full FOV. If you turn on your flashlight here, as you can see, just got that clicked on, and then you're out to your maximum FOV. However, there are some disadvantages with flashlights, of course. As you can imagine, this is just a regular white light. So, how I have it set up currently is there is an invisible collider, or collider, right at the end of this light. So, if you're colliding with something, the collider is going to be right here. But if you're out like this, it's just at the end of your light beam. And enemy AI can see that collider, you cannot. And they can detect it and hone in on your light from that. Also, if there was an AI here and you shine it directly at them, they will see that light, they'll turn around and engage you. Another thing I'm thinking of adding in the future is, what are they called? Photonic barriers, offensive sort of applications of lights. So right now, it's just like a sort of, I'm just imagining like this is like a normal, just like flashlight you get off the shelves. Just click it on and off. But later I'll have like super bright flashlights. Maybe the downside of using those is enemies can see them even easier, but the upside would be if you shine it directly at an enemy, it'll like stun them, or they can't fire back at you as accurately. Something like that would be really cool. And of course, since this is night, I will have night vision as well. But for the time being, it's just a flashlight. All of this is made for the story mode, and in the final mission, maybe even before that, you're going to be using night vision goggles in the campaign. So by that point, I will definitely have night vision goggles added to the game. I have some good ideas on how I'll do that, but I won't go into too much detail on that yet because it's not made. One other thing I wanted to mention before I get to the cool stuff of showing how the AI react to this light is, so if you look again at the FOV, how it is out here, when I click on the light, it goes out to here, but notice when I turn it off, you may have already seen this, probably already saw it, but it actually resets back to a lower level, and that's to kind of simulate night blindness, right? Because this is a white light, and another type of light I was thinking of adding is like a red light that won't affect your night vision when you turn it off as much, but also won't be as effective when you have it on. But yeah, for this, once you turn it off, you got to kind of readjust to the surroundings and the ambient light level. I might increase the rate at which it recovers. We'll have to see as if any of you have feedback on it as time goes on, or if, through my testing I just find it's kind of annoying, then that's what I'll do. Unfortunately, because I'm testing, I only did spawn in one enemy because I didn't want to potentially get shot while I was explaining stuff. Oh, good. This is the development build, so I have enemies always showing up. Of course, normally you would only see this guy when you're looking at him, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of sneak up on him so I can demonstrate this. So, first thing is, let's look at how they react to light. So, if I turn this on here, you can see he starts walking towards where the light was seen. As I said, it's a collider at the end of it, so that's why he's following the end of the light. But theoretically, and most likely, you wouldn't actually know he's there. The only reason I know he's there is because I have developer stuff turned on right now. So normally the AI would hone in on that, they would walk into the beam of light, and they would be able to tell, like, oh, the source of it is right here, coming from you. And similarly, like I was saying, there's also the direct light, so if I turn this on him, he immediately sees me. And notice he also did not engage me till he got closer. Perhaps I should change that. The reason he didn't engage till he got quite a bit closer was because the AI can't see as well at night, even when light is pointing at them, he totally knows where Okay, problem solved. But yeah, even if light is pointing at them currently, their FOV doesn't change. The FOV range is currently only changed for the person who's using the light, in this case only the player. Another thing that will also be added there in the future is that AI will be able to use lights too. But we're getting there, one step at a time. So the last thing I was going to mention, like I said at the start, is the roadmap kind of and how this is progressing. So the next campaign level is called Smugglers. It's just going to kind of follow the intel lead from the previous mission, if any of you have played that. And yeah, it's going to be set at night, which is why I had to make the time of day system. These newer campaign levels are taking noticeably longer. I was actually aiming for one update a week, which is not possible with some of this new stuff that I'm adding. This newest mission is going to have a lot of new systems. Another thing that I also am going to be adding at the same time, this time of day update, is a conversation system. Actually, I can go ahead and show this mission. Or maybe I can't. Maybe it's that in development that it's just broken. Because I got a lot of cascading null reference exceptions. When the update is out, you won't be able to access this mission. It's not done. Because I just like built this in the middle of building the level. It's really not done. But I think that it's done enough to where I can give an example of how this conversation system works. So one of the reasons that this level is taking so long is because of that, the time of day. Also, I had to draw art for all of these characters that are going to be introduced. Pretty much the rest of Wolf is going to be introduced in this level. I've been trying to pace the introductions with characters so that you kind of get a better feel for them, but I also don't want to wait too long on like introduction levels, and I want to like get to the meat of the story for some ideas I had. But here is Wu. He was introduced in the first level. He's guarding the gate just as he was in the first level. And if you see here, there is a talk option. So if we click on that, okay, that part isn't working. I didn't set that up apparently at all in this build. So give me a moment. I will just switch over to the editor where I do have that much done. All right, so here we are in the editor, in my mysterious, spooky scene area called Devland, where I'm testing a bunch of stuff. So that's why this place looks so weird. Actually, one cool thing is, oh, and here's an example of it transitioning. I'm gonna lower how orange the sunset is. This is a bit ridiculous currently, but it gives you an idea for how it transitions. Or actually, this is the dawn, not the sunset. Dawn, not dusk. Anyway, if any of you recognize this from some of the older devlogs, this is where my first kind of video of this took place. There used to be a bunker here, if any of you remember that, or if any of you want to go back. The quality on my older videos, I feel, is awful across the board, which I guess is good. It means I'm growing as a person and all that, but yeah, they're kind of cringe. Anyway, talking to him, this time it'll actually work because it's set up properly and not just built in progress. Here we go. So normally he would be out there at the gate. As I said, this is just Devland, so I just copy and pasted him in here and changed a few variables. So I went out to the gate, talked to him. So you click to advance, and normally you, not normally, but yeah, you would see these options here. So you can talk with him. There's going to be a lot of lore. This will also be used in the Wolf HQ mission, which, if I go back here real quick, you can see is here. I have it written down that it's coming soon. I might actually release this at the exact same time as Smugglers, or very soon after it, because pretty much all the systems that I'm completing in Smugglers will be used in Wolf HQ. The conversation system was the biggest one, but this one will use time of day as well. And yeah, that'll just be a place where you can kind of talk to them if you're interested in knowing more about the world and the characters, and get to know them a bit better. And you'll also be able to talk to them in that Smugglers mission. I don't have it explained yet, but because, you know, as I said, this is in progress, but when it is done, there's going to be a little tutorial hint, which is another thing I added since the last developer log. Won't cover that because those are boring. But there'll just be a little hint mentioning that you can walk around and talk to people before you actually go to the command center's briefing room. So I'm pretty excited. I think that this next level will be really cool when it actually is out. I'm bordering on being overly ambitious, but I am making progress, so You know, the game is coming along. It's taking a while because there's a lot of stuff I want to add, but I think that it'll start going quicker because there's only so many things that need to be added for the campaign to go. It kind of starts going exponentially quicker as I add these underlying systems, and then I can just go from there. So that's enough about that. Last thing is the roadmap in general. I have it written down on the Steam page that I do want to finish the story very first. That is the main goal. When I do that, however, I'm actually not going to be pulling the game out of early access immediately. Instead, I'm currently planning that I'm going to take however long it takes once the story's done and go through really thorough and clean up whatever minor bugs there are, whatever major bugs there are, which hopefully there won't be any, and just clean stuff up in general. And I'm thinking that I will finally have the weapon customization system, and then once I have all that, the game will be released to the final full stable release. At which point it will still be continuing to have updates. I'm not going to be. I have no plans currently to stop working on this game. I could, yeah, ideally, but we'll see. I have so many plans for it. Who knows if I can even fit them all in a lifetime. But this has been going well. Hopefully you all found this devlog interesting, hopefully more interesting than the previous ones. I feel like I actually stayed on topic more and was less rambly in general. But that definitely covers it all. So hope you all enjoyed. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, Happy Holidays in general, whatever you celebrate, because this is going to probably be the last upload I do for the entire year. I haven't been uploading as much recently to this channel because I just haven't really felt like it. I don't know. I don't know why, but I've been enjoying working on this, and gonna hopefully have some really cool stuff coming out really soon. So, see you all in the next one.